everybody. It's Leo season, and it's also I'ma Let You Finish, show number 151 with Court and Amy. One of us is a Leo. One of us's birthday is actually on Monday, but I digress.
I was going to say, at a certain point, you just get older, and you're not at that point yet where you're just like, let's get the day done with already. You're not.
Well, no, kind of. Well, because here's the thing. I used to have a party every year. I've stopped having a party every year. Now it's just kind of like, okay, I still enjoy my birthday.
Is that because the EMS came to your last party?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
I mean, kind of, sort of. No shit. I'm still not over that situation.
Sorry. I didn't mean to PTSD.
Do you remember that? That was just kind
I usually remember parties where the EMS shows up. Yes. Yes, Lord. That is. Yes, I usually do remember something when the EMS shows up. Not that it wasn't a really fun party, but
it actually ended up being a fun party.
It was a great party.
But when it starts with like
the EMS showing up
and the fire truck,
it was a lot. It was a lot going on, but it was a fun party. And happy birthday in advance. Yeah. And okay, so I heard there were these two movies that opened up last weekend.
Yeah, I think that
very, very subtle marketing campaign, like almost stealth.
Let me just say this. Whoever the marketing person is on Warner Brothers, or whoever they hired for the Barbie campaign, they need an award. Because, baby.
Well, they also, I'm sure Mattel was involved in it as well. So it was across the board. It was people complaining about it. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I was like, this is actually good marketing done right to me. It was kind of the things that they chose. I thought it was, and I love that the Barbie movie opens, and it's Barbie and Oppenheimer both opened on Friday. I love that the movie opens, and all of these women. Everybody was dressing in pink, and everybody's going to the movies with friends. And the Magic Johnson, I have friends who went to see the Magic Johnson on Friday night, and they were like, I've never seen the Magic Johnson Theater that packed. They were like, It was packed. The lobby downstairs, just packed.
All the shows. People. I wasn't gonna. But I just to crack myself up, went online to look at the BAM screenings, which is a smaller theater. Every single one of them, they were showing it. Like they doubled the amount of screenings. It was completely sold out, as was Oppenheimer.
Good.
Good.
Listen, Barbie opened way beyond expectations with 162 million, which is
that's just domestically.
Yeah, just domestic. Worldwide, it's like 338 or something. The thing is, it makes it the largest film opening for a movie with a female director.
Right.
In the world, which is great, right? Like, it's so dumb that we say this now because they act like Hollywood always acts like they're surprised when women go see movies that center on women. I'm like, women go to the movies.
Well, it wasn't just with that's the thing.
No, it wasn't. It got everybody, but that's how the conversation is always directed. Because if you really think of Barbie is it was women and gay men. Straight men were not going and you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, but they always act surprised. It's like, well, if you make a movie that women want to see, women don't want to see bullshit. Make movies that women want to see.
Let's be fair. Women want to see the bullshit as much as men want to see bullshit.
Absolutely.
I think what people don't allow, and there's a lot of layers to Barbie. I haven't seen it yet, but I think first off, if you're of a certain, Barbie has been around for 64 years. So every woman has had some contact with Barbie, whether it's my mother won't let me play with Barbie or mom get me the new Barbie. I was in the latter category. Men are allowed to have nostalgic toy moments all the time. Hello, Marvel.
Right.
I mean, women read comics too, but there have been decades of basically cartoons with humans making tons of money. Suddenly a woman makes a movie which is, is a tie-in to something, and everybody is clutching their pearls. Oh my God, she was an indie filmmaker, Greta Gerwig, and now she's selling out. Give me a break. I mean, just give me a break. Whether this will translate into a woman director being given a chance again, because remember, Patty Jenkins did the first Wonder Woman, it's so right. It did very, very well, and then
you did both Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but where I don't see people. People get green men. I mean, here, big shock. Men get more chances. I haven't seen it. It looks like it's a ton of fun. It looks like everybody did what they were there to do. The people I do know who saw it said it's very good. Barbie's a problematic figure because, like I said, it's so funny when you're like when someone wants you to stand on your tippy toes unnaturally, they go, use your Barbie feet. Like growing up with Barbie, you look at her and you go, I will never look like that, and she's problematic. But we all had Barbies and Skippers.
My sister had Christy.
Because, Christy.
I don't know. Yeah, Christy was Barbie's black friend for years. Right. And then they stopped making Christy. Then they started making just Barbies, and there'd be a black one, and she was
right. There was also Midge, which was Barbie's.
Oh, I remember friend. Midge. There was Midge. And there was Teen Courtney. Do you remember they had another one called Teen Courtney?
No, but I remember Skipper. Skipper was her sister, her younger sister. I don't know whether Skipper's in the movie now, but you know what?
I heard they make references to all of those dolls, to Christy, to Skipper. Good. There's references.
Listen, there is anybody who objects to this movie. I mean, let's just I haven't seen it, but anyone who objects to it on a political, cultural is just bored.
When I've been seeing that kind of stuff, I'm like, it's a movie. I'm going to need everybody it's a movie.
Well, it's more than it's a movie, because there is a movie out right now, which is like a QAnon propaganda movie, which is doing very, very well.
Sounds of Freedom, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So it's a movie. It is and it isn't. This is just because it's a movie that dares to take a made-up character, there is no Barbie in real life, and make her reflect the times, and is fun, and Ryan Gosling. That's all I got to say. And one of the reasons the marketing was great, because you had two people. Margot Robbie is a really great actress and a very smart woman, because she produced this. You could tell that Ryan Gosling and Margot were in on the joke and having fun. And that's important. You can't sell this like it's an important film. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it'll be fun. Oppenheim, I've only seen a couple of Christopher Nolan movies, so I can't say I'm a Christopher Nolan fan or not a fan. I've only seen a couple. I mean, the cast in Oppenheim is amazing. The subject matter, I don't know if I want to see another movie which glorifies the genius loner white man who invented something that brought destruction and death to the world. That said, it's supposed to be very good. Yeah. It's also 3 hours. 3 hours. 3 hours.
I have some friends. Listen, I know people who saw both this weekend. Love Barbie. One friend was like, I was ready for Oppenheimer to end, and
3 hours.
I have another friend that was like, it was beautifully shot.
I heard it was gorgeous. Yeah.
It sounded very, her description of it to me sounded the way Aretha Franklin when she just said gowns. Nice.
Well,
gowns.
I mean, Christopher Nolan is a stylist. I mean,
there are some films of his that I've really enjoyed, and others I left at the end going, I don't even know what I just watched.
Right. I saw Dunkirk, and I like Dunkirk actually, but.
I saw Tenet and still don't know what it was about.
Oh, I didn't see Tenet. I saw Memento and I saw Dunkirk. I don't think I've seen any of the Batman movies, but
the Batman movies were great.
That's what I've heard.
Those were really
good.
But
the important thing is that it's putting people in the theaters, and now studios, maybe you do have the money to pay these writers and these actors.
Well, they always have the money. Like, listen, Netflix is reporting how many new signups they had and all of this money and all of these things. And they're just like, oh, yeah, those people are on the line over there. Anyway, look at our numbers. More people signed up.
Yeah. Never brag about how much money you're making when people are asking you for money.
That part. It's just like, oh.
It's like,
really?
You're supposed to cry poor when other people are crying poor.
You're not sitting back like, we signed up 85 million more people.
But I have to say, I don't have Netflix anymore because they caught me, and I really think it's bullshit because I didn't take somebody else's thing. It's part of a family, for crying out loud. Just one member of the family lives someplace else, but my life has gone on without Netflix. It's astounding how. And Reservation Dogs is coming out. Is the third season is dropping next week, and as far as I'm concerned, that's all I'm looking forward to. Is that's a brilliant show. All right, on a way more serious note. Oh, and by the way, if you were on the fence about Barbie, the fact that the Republican Party hates it should be the reason to go.
That should make you buy 2 tickets.
2 tickets. Just give one to a random person.
Buy 2 tickets.
Ted Cruz called it communist Chinese propaganda, which
it's just like, sure, what does that even?
Sure.
It's like
sure. It is. Of course it is. Of course,
it's like the level of stupidity. It's like, and I'm just going to tie this into Jason Aldean right now because then we can skip that whole subject. Is we know that, yes, of course, the song is now going to have 288,000 people buy it, up from 1,000 people last week, because we know that you all feel that way. No surprise there. So have at it. Wave at yourself. I've never seen a group of more miserable people. Let me just tell you something. All of those people, like, who want to complain about Barbie and shit, they like, even the people with Sounds of Freedom. It's like, you guys aren't happy when you don't have anything. So you say you have a hit, you're not happy. You're just
the people who support Sounds of Freedom.
I'm like, y'all are just never happy. So what I realize is you're just not going to be happy people. You're not happy that your movie is a hit. Guess what? You had a hard time getting a movie getting made. And seeing it being out there, now you guys want to ha ha ha. That's what Black people and women and Asian people and Latins, that's what we've all been fighting for, the same thing. So welcome to the club of feeling marginalized. How about have your hit, love your Jason Aldean song, and go enjoy it. But what you don't get to do is then turn around in our faces like we're all stupid and act like we don't get the fucking message that you're trying to put across. And you try to defend it as everything but. That it's not going to fly. Enjoy your shit, but understand, we know what it is. We see it. There it is. Boom. Go be miserable in your little corner. And what's next, sweetie? What are we going to talk about? Tony Bennett?
Well, what I was going to say is I would like, and we'll never talk, I would like if the songwriters were being held to a little more scrutiny.
Right.
Because it took 4 people to write this piece of crap song. And it's a crappy song.
And let me just
stop comparing it to Okie from Muskogee. It is not even close to what Merle Haggard did.
And let me just say this as a person who started his career in the video department at fucking Columbia Records and then went on as in management to have to do video, be my own video commissioner and all those things, as we didn't have one from start to finish. When you get video treatments in, it's you get a treatment. The treatment tells you the tone of what the video is about, blah, 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 blah. Locations are picked on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
They're not,
somebody had to Google this. Yeah.
They don't just, you don't just say, oh, this one's pretty, let's do, they're picked for certain reasons. So that location was picked for a reason. The images you put out there for a reason. Then when people look at it, I'm not saying you have the right to do whatever. This is America.
There's not the right to do
whatever. No, hold on. Actually, that's but that's where you do have the right to do whatever. That's the thing about America. You do. What's right or wrong are two different things. You have the right to do something. Just because you have the right to do it, should you do it? That's a different thing. But don't do the thing. And then when everybody gets the message that to a whole group of people who've heard this message their whole lives loud and clear, then you can't be like, that's not what this is. It's like, don't stand on it with your 10 toes and your chest out. Stand on it.
You actually do not have the right to yell fire in a crowded theater per the Supreme Court. So yes, you have the right in theory, but you do not have the right to incite a riot. So I'm just saying.
Well,
right. According to that is the
old Supreme Court. We don't have a Supreme Court anymore.
Okay. All right, but the point is that Jason Aldean, yes, he has a right to do this. He has a right to do this. Obviously, it's a wrong right. Okay, but this blanket Americans think you have a right to do anything. I mean, you do, but you do not have a right to incite. To yell that the criteria that the Supreme Court used was to yell fire in a crowded theater.
I'm glad that you just said that because that's really true. Like it even comes up with the subject. We can just get this out the way too. The LL responding to Miranda Lambert. Because my issue was like Americans, we have this new thing now. It's like I have the right to do anything, and I've seen the response to her like. I bought tickets to your show, so I can do whatever I want. If I want to take pictures, I want to record, I have that right because I paid to see you. And it's kind of like, when does having respect for somebody at decorum, that just goes out the window because you bought a ticket? To see those women, when I saw the picture, they literally had a flash standing up with their backs turned to her, taking pictures. It's like, why would you? First of all, there are people sitting behind you. Why is that even? Why that while someone's singing? Like, this right to do whatever the fuck you want and have no decorum at all. It's like, y'all, we're like turning into, like, we're worse than the animal kingdom. Even animals kind of respect each other. Fuck, we're just kind of like, well, I bought this, I have the right. It's really, really, like, it just bugs me out to see that we defend crass behavior. Like,
I don't know who's defending it.
There's a lot of people defending.
Well, I mean, who cares what they defend? A lot of people defend a lot of things. First off, I mean,
right.
Here's a news flash. I don't know. People are idiots. People are self-absorbed. We have a generation of people who think whatever they want to do matters, that they take precedence. People don't stand up when people are on the train, people talk loudly in a movie theater. People yell, and I'm not talking about 42nd Street old school yelling back at the theater. I'm talking about people are on their phones in a movie theater. People are talking loudly on the train on speaker. I don't care.
Baby. Ever since they put a signal down, like you could get, there are sometimes I'll be sitting there like, so you're just going to have that whole conversation in your full voice.
In your full voice. And you know damn well that if you happen to be hearing that conversation, they would be all up in your face like, why are you all up my business?
It's the most amazing thing.
People are just rude and they're entitled and everybody gets a trophy. So, all right, let's go to something a little more serious and a little more important about a very good person who passed, lived a full life, 96 years old, singing up until the very end, the legendary Tony Bennett.
I got to meet him. Very nice man.
Yeah, me too. Very nice man. I met him and Regis Philbin the same night. You don't get more New York than that.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing more New York than that.
The only thing I needed was Joe Franklin to walk in.
Oh my God, the legendary Joe Franklin. Okay.
Met him too. Love Joe Franklin. You met
Joe Franklin?
Yes.
I used to love Joe Franklin.
We'll get to Tony, but I actually saw Joe Franklin and tell me if this is the most insane thing you've ever heard. Remember that horrible Tupac musical that was on Broadway? He was at that show. Don't ask me why.
That's random as fuck. I love it.
I was like, what are you doing here? Why? Tony Bennett, an amazing singer, always sort of in the shadow of Sinatra. I'm not going to get into who was better because they were very, very different singers, but I will say that Tony Bennett, talking about marketing, his son did the most brilliant thing where he resurrected his career by doing something which has now become a most cornball marketing technique, but he paired him with like-minded singers. If you see the Amy Winehouse documentary, the scenes with Amy Winehouse and Tony Bennett will bring tears to your eyes because she idolized him, obviously, but he had such respect for her. Lady Gaga, it basically gave her career a new.
But really, his most brilliant.
And Katie Lang.
Well, because remember, he had a manager who just wasn't doing great for him. And Tony, for a while, was in the UK trying to make records. He had a really bad drug problem. Came back. His son helped him.
I don't think there's a good drug problem.
Right. His son, and was broke. His son, Danny, took over. And the most brilliant move ever was he booked him to do an MTV Unplugged.
Yeah, no, that was
genius. That MTV Unplugged won the Grammy for Album of the Year. It completely revitalized everything for Tony Bennett. And just, first of all, and we always say legend and icon, people, those words are thrown around. No, he is a legend and icon. But that man was the definition of legend and icon. He really was. And just so gracious and kind and nice.
And March with Civil Rights movement, a heart, unlike Frank Sinatra, who was a Democrat and then went over to the dark side. Tony Bennett was very politically engaged, and just by all accounts, I have not heard one person say anything negative. A great artist, painter. Good. A life well lived. Yep. A life very well lived, and
has left the gift of his music. There's a lot of music.
He's the one who sort of jump-started the whole idea of going to the Great American Songbook. That's kind of his lane. He's the one who said, "Let's go back and look at these classic American songs. So he's the reason that we have Seal trying to sing Cole Porter. Bless his heart, and I like Seal, but that's not you, baby.
I hate you.
No, it's not you.
It is too early in the morning for you to be becoming poor Seal. I know, it's like,
I love Seal. I'm just saying, all right, that's
and why do we always get to that portion where they're like, I'm going to sing the great. It's like, no.
Because it's because he doesn't know how to dance. I mean,
right.
that's what
but he started out making dance music, so he knows that area.
No, I thought Seal was great. But what I'm saying is, it's like you have one of two lanes. You either do a dance pop record or you go Great American Songbook. If you can actually sing, and Seal can actually sing, you go Great American Songbook. This
is where being the woman always gets the win. You're like, you can always come back with a great dance.
Right.
Record.
If you can't sing, fundamentally, you go that way. All right. We want to talk about I don't need Twitter. I mean, are we off of it? Can we just
let's move on? I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Can we just I'm done. I mean, I don't know what here's my question. Seriously. So are we not we, because I don't use it. Are people going to X now? Are they going to send in X? What's going to be the verb for Twitter?
Over is going to be the verb for Twitter.
Yeah, well, that too.
Because it's
I'm over.
Like, what is this? It's like
no, I'm being serious. What is the verb? What are you sending? Are you sending it? I'm being very serious. What are you sending?
Who knows? Who knows? It changed. Who knows?
You remember the movie, the Producers? You know, the Mel Brooks movie where they deliberately set out to put out the worst show possible so they can lose money and then make money. I feel like we are all in the middle of his lose money to make money.
And basically, because of his personality, the song "Springtime for Hitler" in Germany actually is suitable.
No, we're talking. No. I'm talking about Elon Musk. So I'm sure Elon Musk.
You are talking about, but you said the Producers. "Springtime for Hitler" in Germany was the big song. For him, I could hear him singing that. Because that's totally him. His situation, yeah.
No, and also because he's was born and raised. He's just a good person.
That's my whole reference for that.
Yeah, so. I know. You don't have to tell a New York Jew about Mel Brooks. Trust me. I was raised on those albums. Are you kidding me? You know how like black people have Red Fox records?
Right. Your parents
Jews have Mel Brooks records. Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner records.
So did your parents go to see all of the movies? Were they big, like when the Mel Brooks movies would open?
No.
Would you go see them?
No.
Because I would go see all of them. I've seen all of the Mel Brooks movies.
No. But what I'm saying is we are like Marx Brothers. Marx Brothers, if you're a certain age, Marx Brothers, we watch Marx Brothers movies, and Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner were sacrosanct in my family. All right. Because I was willing to take one for the team yesterday, I walked over to the Brooklyn Public Library, the main branch, to see the book of Hova.
I had no idea there were lines to get it. It didn't dawn. Oh, okay, because people have been saying there's lines to get in. I'm like, really?
No, there's no lines to get in. I mean, you can just walk in. There are lines for specific sort of exhibits, and by lines we mean you're waiting for 5 minutes. It's not like, waiting for a cronut or something like that.
Do you remember that dumb situation?
Yeah, I heard they were great.
But people would be like,
I don't care.
I lined up since 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't line up for food. All right, so it looks great. They take over they take over the bottom and half of the top wing of the museum, which is a gorgeous building anyway. It looks great. The stuff is outside. It's not for me and you. It's not for anyone who has worked in the industry. And I'm not saying that because we're so highfalutin, but you're kind of queuing up to go into the room where Baseline is, his studio, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, I've been to Baseline. I don't need to look at Baseline. I've been to Baseline.
Right.
Or I don't need to see his speech at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because I voted for him. I mean, I know what he said. I watched the show. So there's some cool little memorabilia. He has the guitar that he played at
Glastonbury.
And I wanted to see the magazine covers because I think I have a J something, but that's supposedly that guy. There's a line. The line is to go into a room and listen to a record, and I'm like, I own all these records. Why would I don't need to line up. There's some nice little artwork stuff. It's a corporate sponsorship. There is there's a model of Barclays. Really? 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 He didn't build Barclays. He didn't build it. And not for nothing, it's an ugly building. Barclays. It looks like a clamshell, like a rusty clamshell. I think I spent a total of a half an hour there, and that's with talking to a really cute security guard. It's fine. It's corporate spot. You got the bottles of whatever liquor he's selling. It's fine. It's fine. This is what I will say, though. And everybody can line up and get a commemorative library card, which I got, which you can even use. I already have a library card, so you can use it as your primary library card, or they will just give it to you. And I asked the woman, how many people have signed up for library cards? And she said thousands. So,
I love that. That's great.
So as far as I'm concerned, fine.
That's great. That's great.
I mean, it's definitely a corporate thing.
No, but this is why that's been smart. Get people to sign up for the library.
Now, whether they'll use it or not, I don't know. But the point is that it's a no harm, no foul. You know what I mean? It's a no harm, no foul. It is open to the public. It's not really for the public in the sense that it is a shrine to Jay-Z. He would not be the first rich man to build a shrine to himself. That's what the pyramids were and stuff like that. But it's well done. If you're in Brooklyn, I wouldn't make a massive effort to go see it, but there were a lot of people there. There were a lot. I love
that. If it brings people into the library, and there's exhibits all over, the Schomburg has, an exhibit going on right now. They have the wild style commemorative card. So then I want to go and get one. I have a library card as well, so I want to get one of these commemorative.
Yeah, you can get. I was surprised. I thought she was going to say you already have a library card. It's the cover of the Black Album. It's fine. Yeah, I'm glad I went just so I could say I saw it. It looks great. It's great that they're paying homage to him. If we're going to still buy this party line that he didn't know it was going to happen and Rock Nation sprung it on him, please.
Now that they have the guitar and all of those things, it's like, we just need that. What for? Oh no, we'll tell you later.
We just need it.
We'll tell you later.
I'm giving my nephew guitar lessons. Oh, can you give me those scarves? What do you need it for? Oh no, we're just gonna. Yeah. I mean, it works. That's what I'm saying. It works without like the ridiculous backstory. There's no problem if you say Jay donated all this stuff because this was going to happen to X, Y. Why there has to be this like it magically appeared one night and we surprised him. Give me a break. This is a guy who micromanages.
It's like Mr. Snuffleupagus. Like only one person can see him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it doesn't become any less fun. If we know that he contributed to it. But anyway, it's fun and the library card's cute and there were tons of people there and it was fun, walk over,
go see it. And we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Pantheon Podcast listeners, Christian Swain here to tell you more about my experience with Raycon earbuds. Our family now has 3 pairs of Raycon earbuds around the house, and my wife just grabbed a pair of the Headphone Pros to replace some headphones from a company that was double the price. And yes, she loves them. Now, if you haven't pulled the trigger on a pair of Raycons, or even if you have, but you're in the market for another pair because they're just that good, well, now is the time to check them out, because they just launched their upgraded model of the best-selling everyday earbuds. With Raycon's upgraded everyday earbuds, now you also get active noise cancellation, ergonomic design, and multi-point connectivity that lets you pair with 2 devices at once. New quick charge function, 3 customizable sound styles, plus awareness mode. Available in a variety of vibrant new colors to complement any and all skin tones. I even have a pair of earbuds in a cool green color. I have tried just about every earbud known to humankind, and these Raycons are fantastic. Seriously, if you've been wanting to check out Raycons, there truly is no better time. You're going to ask yourself why you didn't check them out sooner, and Raycon offers a 30-day happiness guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Go to buyraycon.com/Pantheon today to get 20% off your Raycon order, plus free shipping. That's right, you'll get 20% off and free shipping at buyraycon.com/Pantheon. buyraycon.com/Pantheon.
And we're back.
All right. I have never heard the 1975. I know they're really, and I'm not saying, no, listen, I am not saying this to be obnoxious or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never heard them. I know they're really, or maybe I haven't, I just didn't realize. I know they are hugely popular.
Yep.
I know that lots of people, I know that they are critically popular as well. So it's not like a band that like only, it's not John Mayer or somebody like that. It's not something that only the fans like and the critics are like, or not John Mayer. Ed Sheeran. Critics hate Ed Sheeran. Fans love it. This is a fact.
No, I'm just laughing because I know whenever you say John Mayer, because we've had conversations about him, I know how you feel about him. So he's your reference for
critics love John Mayer. John, whatever. Or it's not Maroon 5. Okay. Right. It's not like the fans love him and the critics can't stand him. So they are. I didn't even know they were British. I think about 2 years ago. I don't know why I assumed they were American, but they are British.
No, Matty Healy is Denise Welch's son. Denise Welch is one of the panelists. She's an actor.
She's also on Coronation Street.
Yeah, she's an actor, and she's one of the panelists on Loose Women, which is the UK's version of The View.
Which means, in England. That's how he's definitely he's a Nepo baby of some sort. Anyway, I don't know him from a can of paint. He's probably best known in this country for dating, and I'm putting that in huge quotes, Taylor Swift. But he's also a very problematic guy. He has done things that he is saying in terms of being a provocateur, which are like, no, there's not enough nuance in the world. You don't do Nazi salutes. You don't talk about trash women of color. You don't do a lot of things. He is known for kissing his fans when he's on stage, which I think is obnoxious on so many different levels. They were playing Malaysia. They were playing a festival in Malaysia where
the Good Day Festival.
It's a very strict, a very punitive anti-gay laws in Malaysia, like we will kill you type of stuff in Malaysia. And they knew this. And he kissed his guitarist or bass player on stage. So the show was canceled.
Well, and then made a statement. Then he made a statement from the stage about their laws, and this is fucking ridiculous, and da-da-da-da-da, and all that. And, it's really fucked up because, one, there are some elections coming up. Gay people did not feel in Malaysia are very upset. They're like, this does not help us. This could actually be more damaging to us. And what you did was not good. And people are really getting on him, saying that, this is that white savior complex where you come to some place and you say all these things and you think you're standing up for the people, but you get it. You're banned from there. And they shut down the festival that night and canceled the entire rest of the weekend.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like the whole thing is thrown off. You have people. You get to leave. Yeah, you're banned from there. You're part of you're part of an international group. Okay, and you were canceled in a few other countries in that region, but you get to go on the rest of Europe. You come to America, do your tour where you could do those sort of things, but you leave a wake of damage to people who have to kind of live in the aftermath of that. And it was really irresponsible. Really, really irresponsible.
Well, I mean, obviously we are. And anybody with a brain in their head is against these sort of punitive laws. But Matty Healy, management, everyone knew what these laws and when they went in. And so he made if he was deciding that they're going to play the show to make a statement, he's not realizing what the ramifications of that statement could be. Because for all you know, the Malaysian police could go into a gay bar and start beating the crap out of everybody because this one is up there. I mean, there's a performativeness about Matty Healy and a lot of people. I'm not saying he doesn't believe this stuff, but it's just he could have made the same statement in a much more less about me way. You know, he made it more about him than the cause. And also, come on, really? We're still at the I'm kissing a guy, look at me. It's like, come on. I mean, I just found it. I think his intentions are good, but I think he's sort of he's a child.
The road to hell is paved with good intention. You know what I mean? It's like
I don't think it's served. This is not going to South Africa and doing a protest. This is not this. This is like, hey, Nana, you don't like gay people here. Look at me. I'm going to kiss my bass player. And not to mention that you just put a whole bunch of people out of work in Malaysia, where I'm sure they're not making Matty Healy money. You know, so I just thought it was kind of just performative. I'm tired of these people being activists for the gram.
Yeah, it's a little annoying. And performative is the right word, because there's a lot of that going on across the board.
Okay, I love Noel Gallagher more than life itself. I don't care. I don't care.
I
love Oasis. This. I love Oasis. British people hate them.
I'm not an Oasis fan, but he makes me giggle because
he
will
laugh.
Just say
whatever he wants.
Whatever the fuck he wants.
And so will Liam, except that yes, Oasis is derivative. All right, big so, and what? So who cares? But he says things, and I really do honestly think that Noel Gallagher, because if you want to crack yourself up, watch Noel Gallagher on any chat show. He's hilarious. I think Noel Gallagher is very aware of what he's saying. This is part of his shtick, and he says it. So he went after Adele last week and compared her to Cilla Black, and that she's overrated. And you know what? Adele is overrated.
And then when I started listening to Cilla Black,
Cilla Black, yeah,
and I was kind of like, well,
yeah,
he's not unwrong.
He's not unwrong. Now, of course, it being Noel Gallagher, it has to be. She needs to sing my song. So there is. I really think with him, there is a nudge, wink, wink.
And Cilla Black was a huge star. So it's like, you're not calling her somebody who had no career.
Right, no, huge star in England.
Surprise.
But listen, Adele is overrated. Beyonce is overrated. Let's go down the list of people who are overrated. Drake is overrated. Does it mean that
Frank Ocean is overrated?
I'm talking about people who have viable, huge careers. You know, I mean, Frank Ocean, yes, but I'm talking about, like the big guns.
He's seen as a big gun, believe it or not.
Not anymore. He doesn't sell records.
Oh, but it doesn't matter. He's got that thing. And if he announced a record tomorrow, that's all anybody. We'd see everything piece. Everything.
But I think what he said was slow news day. Anything he says, people eat up. He's a shock jock in a lot of ways. This is what Noel Gallagher does. If this is news, Noel Gallagher is the one who attacked Jay-Z for playing Glastonbury. Or actually, I think it was Liam that did it. And then turned around, it was like Noel Gallagher goes after Louis Capaldi, who, bless his heart, seems very, very funny and very, very nice. I couldn't name a Louis Capaldi song if you put a gun in my head. I have no idea.
Oh, I know that one. It's Wait.
But he's one of these white guys who sings like ersatz soul music, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And he has Tourette's, and he just stopped touring because
he's very funny. He's very,
and he's actually super talented.
He is, but I'm just saying, he's like, okay. The British, for all of they have a corn factor that we don't have in a lot of ways in terms of songs. They enjoy a sing-along song. They like in the pub singing along song. But this is what Noel Gallagher does. Adele, I'm sure Adele was like laughing. I'm sure Adele and Noel Gallagher hang out together. That people get up in arms about it. And Noel Gallagher is not really big enough in this country to have any impact on what he says. Oasis was big, but Noel Gallagher.
Well, first of all, what he says never has an impact on anything. It's good for headlines, and it's always a good little cunty, and it fits right into his profile of listen, he doesn't say the shit he says about his own brother is always fucked up. So that kind of.
Oh, they don't even talk.
I mistake. They are horrible to each other.
No, they are. No, they do not speak.
I know press wise, they're horrible to each other. They don't speak, but there's always some shots fired across. cross the line.
They don't get along. They're the Ray Davies and Dave Davies of post-punk, you know. All right, Matt, did you listen to the new Nas? I didn't even know it was out until you. Did you listen to it?
Yes, I did.
All right, what'd you think?
Listen.
What did you think? Not just what did you think? I was curious.
I think it's a really good album, right? But I think hip hop is not my genre for a lot of repeat listening. But I'm happy for him. He's been really on a roll of putting out these albums of real consistent work. You know what I mean? So good for him.
I think it for my money, he put out 3, boom, 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 the King's Disease trio. Mm-hmm. This is good. It's not great. Mm-hmm. It's same producer, Hit Boy. So I'm just really, and I know but it's still, listen, a good Nas record is better than a great Drake record any day of the week, in my opinion, or somebody, you know, I mean, Nas, I'm just sort of tired, and I noticed it a lot in this album, the constant metaphor of the famous person for something like I'm rolling like, I don't know, you know what I mean? They constantly throw the famous name in because it just sort of dates it in a lot of ways. But it's a good record. It didn't draw me in the same way the King's Disease records, I was there. And the production is not as tight on this as it was. But I listened to it before I went to go see the Jay-Z thing because, Ether, big takeover. What else? You want to talk about Eric Adams? I can't stand him.
No. Changed my mind.
Well, I mean, the block parties, we'll talk about it later.
The block party. Okay, the block parties. Yeah.
So Eric Adams, because he is a man of the people. Eric Adams, and yet another. If there's a party, I'll be there. There's going to be a series.
Even when there's not a party, I'll be there. He's like standing in front of an abandoned house being like, we could have a party here tonight because I'm here with a boombox.
You know people who voted for him. You do.
I do.
You do.
I do.
The only people I know who voted for him were 70-year-old Seventh-day Adventists. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Nice women who get mad at me every time I say something bad about him. Whenever I'm at the pantry, I go, oh, Eric Adams. They go, why you have to talk like that about him? He's your mayor. And I'm like,
was that your attempt at a 70-year-old Seventh-day Adventist?
No, that was my attempt at a West Indian accent.
That was terrible.
I know, it was terrible. I don't know. I couldn't. I know, it was terrible. I apologize. Well, no one could ever accuse me of trying to do black scent because I screwed that one up. Terrible. Yeah, you'll never accuse me of cultural appropriation because I can't even do like an accent that I hear 100 times a day. Whatever.
I just want to say this while we're talking because I've had to turn the fan off to record. I'm sweating like a whore in church.
All right. You assume that whores sweat in church.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, whores might be the most comfortable in church because they know exactly what they're there for.
This is true.
They'd be like, I'm here for a little salvation, and then I'm going to go outside and blow something.
Right, you know.
And probably one of the men in this congregation.
Church, right? Exactly.
Or if it's a black church, it's a guy, and he's going to get the choir director.
Exactly. He's waiting for service to be over
to get the choir director.
Brunch.
The choir. It's always the choir. Or no, what do they call it? The respite, the recital. What is the thing after the repast? The repast.
A repast, you mean?
Yeah,
after like a funeral, a repast.
Yeah. That's when the food comes out. All right, so they're gonna have 5 block parties in New York City, one in each borough, sort of at the location or around the location of key landmarks, physical landmarks in hip hop. So the first, the one in the Bronx is going to be, hold for it, 1520 Sedgwick, more than likely. I think the Queens one will probably be in Crotona Park or something like, and will feature. I mean, they did this once. I feel like this has happened once before where they were hip hop shows where didn't like the city summer stage do something where they were dragging in people from individual boroughs. Like when you went to Staten Island, it was kind of Wu-Tang heavy or Wu-Tang affiliate, and you went to Queens, it was mob.
But there always is. That's what people don't realize. There's summer stages in each of the boroughs, and every summer they have programming. You know?
Right, but I feel like there was always one that was very sight in terms of bringing in. Anyway, Eric Adams, blah, blah, blah. Yes, he is hip-hop generation. I'm not going to take it. But Eric Adams is also like stop and frisk, which seems very anti-hip.
And he was part of the hip-hop police. So, you know,
was he part of the hip-hop police?
Evidently, allegedly.
Okay. Well, was he?
Well, that's what I've kept. People have absolutely said, and when he was running,
it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
But you know, anybody who was a part of that unit never admits to that.
The one guy who wrote the book.
Because
Parker,
they always admit to it when it becomes financially, a viable situation.
We all know I hate, Eric Adams is anathema to me. The only issue I have with this, and I say this as someone whose very first paid hip hop interview was with Boogie Down Productions when Scott LaRock. I have a picture somewhere, like I said, of me in a roller skating rink in Jamaica, Queens with Chris and Scott, and it's got to be D Nice in there somewhere, who was like 12 at that point.
Yeah, kid. Yeah.
He was like 12. KRS One. Brilliant. We have no problem with him talent-wise. He, speaks truth to power and expression, which will be eliminated when I take over the world, along as referring to something as your journey. That's eliminated. My truth will also be eliminated. He's just problematic, KRS-One, and this is not taking away his talent, but he's problematic. He was one of the few people to defend Africa Bambaataa when Africa Bambaataa was credibly accused of child molestation. He threw Prince B off a stage, which I know that was a long time ago, but come on, really? That's like picking a fight with a cat. But it's good to have the attention. It's another excuse for Eric Adams to have a press conference and stand in front of people.
Lots of photo ops, smiling.
Lots of photo ops.
I'm the mayor. I'm the mayor.
You
need to respect me. I'm the mayor.
How much do you want to bet? All right, I'm betting this right now. Let's make this bet. He's going to commission someone to write a song about him.
It'll be his son. His son, isn't his son?
Oh, right. His son's a rapper. His son's a rapper who's very big in Albania.
Yeah.
No, he is. I didn't hear him when I was there, but he was on Albania's Got Talent.
I forgot that. He was
a judge on Albania's Got Talent. So it's just another opportunity for Mayor Adams to flex a little bit and shiny thing. That said, we are the city that invented it. We should be celebrating our culture, but as soon as Eric Adams gets involved in it, you need to be suspicious. Because he's just so horrible, and he'll probably get reelected. What are you listening to?
Well, I've been listening to the new Ty Dolla $ign song "Motion," which is really, really,
for someone,
really good.
I don't listen to hip hop. I don't know anything about hip hop.
It's a house beat. It's a house beat.
Are we going back? Are the kids going? They're going to continue this again?
Yeah, kind of. I've been listening to the new Sophie Tucker, which is really good. A new single that they have out. I actually I don't listen to hip hop. I'm about to say, I actually like the new Travis Scott with Bad Bunny and The Weeknd. I don't hate that.
But you don't listen to hip hop.
You
think Bad Bunny's overexposed.
He is.
And you don't understand The Weeknd. But other than that, you're listening.
I like the new Zayn track.
I love
catchy.
The new Zayn track.
And I've been listening to Unrepentant Geraldine's Tori Amos's album from 2014. That kind of came back into my psyche. Tori Amos had Unrepentant Geraldine's, which came out in 2014. That's been in heavy rotation this week.
She's never somebody I understood.
Love her.
But I have to, I know, but I just, I guess I have to go back. I was not in the frame of mind for it. I love the new Zayn too. It's very obvious that, and this is obviously the kind of music that he's want, that Zayn is going to be the art, like the yin yang. So Harry Styles is the big pop moment, the 70s, the America influence music. And Zayn has very much so far with his singles kept it in big quotation marks, urban, short, tight, danceable.
Dude, but with this one, it seems like ever since his like his first album, he seems to be going for a little more commercial with it, because the last two albums to me were less commercial than this single, which is, it feels like, okay, he's trying to really step back into the arena. And,
well, he has child support. He has, child support payments. He had a child with I'm sure a high maintenance family. So no, I think it's really good. He's always been someone who can sing. None of those guys had an issue in terms of singing. They've all put out interesting records, all of the members of One Direction. I think he got sort of on overlooked because of all the stupid stuff with the gossip. And, for an American audience, Harry, and I love Harry Styles, and he is cute, but Harry Styles you get the feeling that Zayn is not as natural a showman as Harry Styles. Harry Styles seems to live for the performance. Zayn seems like a much more reserved kind of guy, but it's a really, really Love Like This, Love Like That, or Love Like This? Love Like This, the single.
Love Like This.
Yeah, it's really, really good, and the video's good, and I like it a lot. And I've been listening to a ton of ABC. I've just been on this ABC jag. Yeah. And just remembering how much fun they are. One of my favorite songs ever is That Was Then and This Is Now. So I've been listening to the first album a lot. I've been listening to Beauty Stab. I don't know. I've just been listening to, I like ABC. I always liked ABC. And the stuff has stood up. I mean, it doesn't sound at all like its moment, like it's time at all.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see your head. I thought.
No, I'm listening.
I thought you fell down.
No, I'm just.
I thought you fell.
I was moving a wire over here, and I'm just like.
I was like, oh my God, I have to remember the tagline. Oh my God, the tagline. I'm assuming that you would think if I moved out of the camera that I fell down, and more than likely I would have fallen down. So I just assume that you too, when you moved to the side, had fallen down.
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, it's done. All right.
Your face is looking like, is he okay?
No, the thing is, I only saw the headphones and part of your head, and I was like, this is how people have strokes, right? They just sort of like, suddenly you're talking to them. It's like, is the screen frozen, or did he just have a stroke? Okay, I just want to, I'm concerned. I'm just concerned. If for no other reason that I don't know how to engineer this show.
No, I mean, you see me, I'm moving and I'm fanning myself because I'm sitting here like, it's hot as fuck.
No, it is.
It's a little humid.
It's a lot.
My skin loves it. I mean, I'm very proud of myself. Normally, we do this. We take the show early. I get up, brush my teeth, splash water on my face. But this morning, I'm already showered. I'm all
I did a load
moisturized.
I did a load of laundry, baby.
I did breakfast.
I did the laundry. The variety of laundry I hate. The sheets and towels. I hate that.
That's
because I don't have to wear them, so I can always put off like doing that.
Right. Yeah.
That's because the cats puked on everything. All right. Okay. That's what cats do. All right. You want to take us out of here? Oh, by the way, everybody, Pantheon Podcasts, who are our people who we love, they have a new podcast dedicated to Metallica. Please check it out on their page because we like Metallica.
And, Pantheon also has an app, to go to the App Store and Pantheon Podcast. Yes. You know what I mean? And follow Pantheon on Instagram at Pantheon Pods, on Twitter and Threads at Pantheon Pods. Follow them on the main page on Facebook.
Not Twitter. X.
Oh, well, yeah, that shit. On YouTube at Pantheon Pods, where they put our shows up so you could also hear us on YouTube. Listen, and for all of the people who listen to us on the Pantheon main feed, thank you. For our I'ma Let You Finish folks who've been with us on our feed and since day one, and our new listeners, thank you. You know what to do. Tell a friend, pass it on, post our show, leave a rating, leave a review. We love you. Follow us on, all of the places. I'ma Let You Finish on Facebook. I'm going to let you finish, or I'm going to let you finish NY everywhere. You know the deal. It's hot. It's Leo season. We'll see you next week. Bye.
It's NFL draft season, and that means it's time to start thinking about fantasy football. FantasyPoints.com features industry-leading experts and prognosticators using proprietary hand-charted data to help you score more fantasy points. FantasyPoints.com is the place to go for whatever kind of fantasy football you play. Whether you play fantasy football, daily fantasy sports, or do a little bit of everything, Fantasy Points has the meticulously researched content to guide you to victory. And why wait for the fall? Fantasy Points also covers the new spring football league, the UFL. Join the guru, John Hansen, Scott Barrett, Joe Dolan, and other massive names in the fantasy football universe with an exclusive offer. Use code Pantheon for 15% off any Fantasy Points package, including the all-in package, with access to every article, tool, and data nugget that Fantasy Points has to offer. That's FantasyPoints.com and code Pantheon for 15% off at Fantasy Points. FantasyPoints.com, code Pantheon. Score more fantasy points.